I just speak my peace, keep my peace.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Speak My Peace podcast. As always, I'm your gracious host, Greg Lacey. Like we always do about this time, we hope this episode reaches you all in good health as you take care of yourself and your loved ones, as we know how important that is. If it's your first time listening to the Speak My Peace podcast, welcome. If it's not, welcome back. I am appreciative of you all. Shout out to my YouTube viewers. Man, this past week was a big one. My family watched one of my younger sisters achieve a monumental goal, in which was her getting her master's degree. If you remember, for episodes, one of the 60s, somewhere in the 60s, I detailed that she was the first in the family to receive her bachelor's degree. So now she's the first in the family to receive her master's degree. And that was such a beautiful, thing to see someone set out to accomplish something and reach a goal. And it reminded me of a statement I made a few episodes ago about if you don't have any goals, you're moving around aimlessly. Paraphrasing myself, I don't know how the hell I don't remember what I said. But I think that's what I said about if you don't have any goals, you're kind of moving around aimlessly. And so I want to touch upon it in this episode, just elaborate more upon it, because I didn't really elaborate upon it when I first said it. What I meant by that in that statement was, I think that we always should be striving for better. I think there should always be something we're striving for. I don't think we should ever get complacent in where we're at in our life. I don't think we should ever get where we're at in our professional life, our personal life. If it's fitness, we may have fitness goals. You may have goals for certain hobbies you have, extracurricular activities in your relationship. If you work in a team setting, whatever the case may be, I think there should always be something that we should strive for. I think when we get complacent, it's too much similar to settling. Complacent is synonymous with settling in my book. And so when we get complacent or we settle with something, I think that we lose ourselves. And when you lose yourself, the more you lose yourself, the more the less motivation you have to better yourself. And I think that is an important factor with achieving goals or striving for goals, is that motivating factor. Like I look at as a motivator as that thing that gets us up in the morning, the thing that gets us out of the bed and say, you have something to work towards, you have something to work for. And that thing that is pulling us across the finish line is that goal. It's hard to get to the end of that race. It's hard to even embark upon that journey on that race, but we have to finish it. And the thing that gets us to that starting line is that motivating factor. And we have to recognize this. Like, life is difficult for many. Everyone's experience is unique to their selves. And one thing that's constant and one thing that we all share is the peaks and the valleys of this journey of life. Many of us accomplish certain things. Many of us have great feats in our life, but we also have downs. We have lows. We go through things. That is a part of the human experience. It's like a roller coaster, honestly. We have ups and our downs. We have our peaks and we have our valleys. And the thing that can make that journey much more sweeter is understanding that there is a finish line. It's not a constant finish line, because as I said, you should be constantly working towards bettering yourself. So you reach one goal, strive for another goal, and keep going. But the fact that we can't get across that finish line, the endorphins we get from crossing that finish line, the stimulation we get in our mind from achieving something, is something we should all strive for. It's like, if you don't, I spoke about, I think, episode 99, paraphrasing. I don't know how the hell I'm paraphrasing myself when I'm the one that said it, but going back to the episode about self-worth, I believe it was, and I was like, if you don't know your worth, you increase the possibility of someone taking advantage of you. And I think that's also another key important factor in your goals, is knowing your worth. knowing what you're capable of, knowing what you can embark upon, knowing what you can try out. Because a lot of time goals are something that you have no idea that you can accomplish, but it's something that you have in the back of your mind that you will like it. You will like to achieve it. And to start upon that journey, you have to be crazy. Because of goals can be minuscule, it can be huge, it can be short term, it can be long term, wherever the case may be. But the fact that you are putting this idea in your mind that you want to achieve something, that is enough. But then again, that goes back into that self-worth and telling yourself that you are worthy enough to embark upon that journey. You are worthy enough to accomplish what you set out to accomplish. You are worthy enough to prepare yourself for that journey. All these things are very important. And I think when we lose sight of this thing, when we lose sight of the fact that, something, we have something to work towards, when we lose sight of the fact that we could continue to better ourselves, we lose ourselves. And we shouldn't ever lose ourselves. Don't lose yourself. I'm speaking to you. Don't lose yourself. It's okay to become complacent in a while. I spoke about it. In a while. It's okay to become complacent for a little while. But you can't get stuck in there because complacency is too close to settling. Yes, you should take breaks amongst journeys. Sometimes journeys are very hard. Sometimes journeys are very they exhausting. Sometimes journeys suck a lot of things out of us. And in order to get that motivation to keep on going, as I spoke about episode 112, is that sometimes you have to step away to get remotivated, to get re-energized. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. But in that, you also have to keep your eyes at the end of that finish line and knowing that you have to cross that tape so that you don't become too complacent and you don't settle in your current level. Like, we should always strive to better ourselves in every aspect of our lives. And that's what a goal is. Work towards something. Set out a plan. Set out something that you may deem as crazy. Set out something you may deem as easy or simple. But as long as you are working towards something, you are bettering yourself. Tell yourself you want to read one book in 1 year. Read that book. Start that book. You may tell yourself you may have never been swimming. You want to learn how to swim this summer. Go take those lessons. Learn how to swim. You may tell yourself 20 years from now, you want to be worth $500,000, or you want to be worth $500,000. Do the work in between now and those 20 years to figure out how you're going to make that money. Like, it's very important that we are always striving for something, because again, this life on this physical realm is taxing. And it's so easy to sit back and get lazy. And we should never lose sight of things that we want to accomplish. You all know how much I love to give you personal examples. And so going back into that statement about self-worth, I want to detail a time where someone I was taken advantage of, because for one, I didn't know my worth. And for two, I didn't really have any goals. One of the biggest scams in the military is the 4-year contract versus 6-year contract. For those of you who don't know, the 4-year contract is standard. Like, if you sign up for a military branch, most recruiters assume that you're going to do the 4-year. Some recruiters try to get you to do the 6-year. For them, it's an incentive. But for you, it's kind of incentive as well. And what they tell you is that you rank up faster, which is not true, but you do achieve a rank faster, one rank faster than your peers, which equals more money. But the entire military service is underpaid anyway, so it don't matter. Like, you're getting more money, but you're still underpaid, so it don't really matter. But I'm sharing this game with you all. I may have somebody maybe listening to this podcast, may be interested in joining the military. Hopefully I can deter you from doing so. But no, that 4-year versus 6-year scam is literally that. A recruiter will tell you that, you want to make more money, sign up for 6 years. And if you're a fool, you will do it. And I was a fool. I was 18 years old. I joined the military fresh out of high school because I felt like at that point in my life, I had to make money. I didn't have a safety net. And maybe I did have the safety net and I just couldn't identify it. But in that point in my life, I felt like I didn't have a safety net. I felt like if I went to school and everything went bad and I needed to make some money, I didn't know who I was to turn to. And so that fear put me in a position to where I had started a career at 18, 19 years old. So as I'm going through the Perny, what the hell is a Perny? As I'm going through the journey and listening in the Air Force, I originally signed up for 4 years just because it was standard. At that point in time, I knew my motivation to sign up for the military was literally money. It wasn't anything else. Didn't care about benefits. Didn't really know about benefits. I mean, yeah, you tell me I have healthcare and dental and all that stuff. That's good, but I didn't really care for that. But I signed up for 4 years, and as I was going through the process, that changed to 6 because of that sense of money. Remember, again, I just told you all that I signed up because I wanted to make money. So if you tell me that I make more money by doing something, not really understanding, the details and the reason whys and all that thing, I'm going to sign up for it because I'm naive, because I'm eager, but I also don't know my worth at that point. This is a young kid, fresh out of high school, who had his life, had his dreams set out for one thing for so long, and then abruptly had that change within the past year. And so now I'm just trying to figure out life and trying to figure out, where I fit in. And so you tell me I make more money, I'm going to sign up. And so that's what I did. I signed up for 6 years. It wasn't until I got actually in the Air Force that I understood what the scam was. The reason why I say it's a scam is because, yes, you make more money faster. That's because you are awarded a rank faster, but you don't rank up faster than your peers, if that makes any sense. So everyone starts off as a E1. You go through boot camp, you go through tech school. This is just the Air Force, specifically for the Air Force. You go through boot camp, you go through tech school. If you sign up for 6 years, by the time you finish by the time you finish boot camp, you're a bump from E1 to E3. If you sign up for 4 years, you're a bump from E1 to E2. Again, it sounds like I was superior to the people I joined with because I'm a rank higher than them, but we're all underpaid. And some of those folks who signed up for 4 years, all they had to do was work their butt off. Actually, they didn't even have to work their butt off because those first 3 ranks are automatic. So although I got mine 6 months earlier, after 6 months, the other people were also the same rank as me. So now it's an even playing field and we have to work for the next couple of ranks. Actually, the first 4 ranks in the Air Force are given. It just comes with due time. So it's an even playing field. We all now working towards a certain thing. Once that 4th rank comes is when you actually start to have to work for it. And I detailed this experience, not really going back into my whole journey. I'll probably get an Air Forced out by me. But this was me being taken advantage of. Not knowing my worth. Not knowing exactly what I was doing in my life. Most people would join the military and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do 20 years and I'm retired. Especially me being 18. Yeah, I'm going to do 20 years, retire at 38 and blah, blah, blah. That wasn't initially what my goal was. But as I needed more lies to tell people why I was doing it and what I was doing, I started to tell that lie. But I didn't have any goals at that point. Like my goals for my life up to that point was all sports related. I wanted to make sure that I kept my grades up in school, make sure I was one of the smartest people in school, and also continue to try to excel through sports so that I can go to college for free. Life didn't work out like that, but that is what I was striving for. I was working towards that, and it's unfortunate that at that point in time in my life that I didn't get the proper knowledge on what I was getting myself into in terms of the Air Force and things like that. But that was just me being taken advantage of because I didn't have any goals. I didn't know what 25-year-old Greg was doing. I didn't know what 30-year-old Greg was going to be doing. I didn't know what 40-year-old Greg was going to be doing. But I knew that I had a job and I knew that I needed money. And so I signed up for that. But I was taken advantage of. And I detail all that. And you probably have a personal life experience that's similar to mine, similar details. It may have the same life experience if you're a veteran or you're currently in the Air Force, whatever case it may be, that have been through the same thing. That is why it's important to keep goals, because I didn't know what I was striving for at that point in my life. I was young and I was taken advantage of. And as I was just saying, the less we are in tune with ourselves, the more opportunity we allow for people to take advantage of us. So that's why acknowledging our self-worth, being aware of our self-worth is important. But it's also important that's also why it's important to work towards goals. Because if you're out here moving around aimlessly, you allow those opportunities. You allow someone to tell you that, hey, if you give me 2 more years, we can give you more money. Don't let nobody dictate what you are given, if that makes any sense. Someone else dictated the future of my life because I was moving around aimlessly and I was just trying to figure out. And let me say this, because I'm using the word aimlessly around. It's nothing wrong with figuring out life, because a lot of young people go through life and they're trying to figure themselves out. I was 25 years old still trying to figure myself out. Hell, I was 27. No, I wasn't. But I was 25 years old still trying to figure out what I want to do in my life. And 25 is young to most, but to me, I didn't feel young at 25 because I had experienced someone's life at that point. But I was 25 years old still trying to figure my life out. So it's nothing wrong with moving around aimlessly. But you gotta understand, as you're moving around aimlessly and you're trying to figure out life and you're trying to figure out what path and what journey you want to go down, they're going to be detractors, which are people who are going to try to interfere with that process of you finding and identifying yourself. And so we can't eliminate that. You will never be able to prevent a detractor in your life, but you can prepare yourself for these events and how you react to these detractors, and how you recover from these detractors, how you recover from these roadblocks. You can prepare yourself for these things by setting out goals for yourself. So as we close this episode, that's all I want to say for you all. Write it down, think it out, say it all out, speak to someone, whatever the case may be. But set out goals for yourself to prevent people from interfering with whatever journey you have in this life. Continue to work towards something, continue to strive, continue to better yourself, because at the end of the day, that's all we're here for. It's not all we're here for, but that's an important part of this journey, is bettering ourselves. That's the Speak on Peace podcast for this week, y'all. I'm out.